Hey guys, welcome in for tonight's Truth Talks. Um, Interesting conversation. I'm telling you what, you guys, I'm so loving this Q&A, and it's so fun to just see people engage and interact and send in questions. So definitely keep the questions coming if you have questions for me. Like, so far, a lot of the questions have been business related, but it doesn't have to be business related. Remember, Ultimate Power Coaching is about life, relationships, and business. So it can be anything sort of in between, a broad range of topics. Feel free to inbox me. So as you guys come in, feel free to share the video out tonight. What time is it? This evening, whenever it is. Share the video out. Whenever you see it, share the video out. Did I say share the video out? Yeah, do that. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So, Marcy Batiste here, your Ultimate Power Coach, America's #1 reality-based success and recovery trainer, helping you get over it, get over your stumbling blocks, get over what's holding you back, get over your insecurities, your limited beliefs, your self-sabotaging behaviors, all of those things, and take ownership of your life, relationships, and business. And Truth Talks is real conversations for real people dealing with real stuff. And I changed the format to a Q&A so that because people would inbox me on occasion and ask questions, and here's the thing that I know to be true. If one person's asking the question, there's 100 more people that have the same question and would like to know the answer. So I have changed it, so feel free to inbox me anytime you want. Questions about whatever, and I will do my best to answer those for you as honestly, transparently, and as authentically as I possibly can. So, to that note, today's question was from a woman. She didn't say how old she was, but she said, love the new format for Q&A. Been wanting to ask, but I didn't want to bother you. She said, I'm in corporate now, have a really good career, but I'm thinking of entrepreneurship, but I still have a lot of opportunities in corporate. I know that's the environment you came from. What advice would you give someone in a similar situation who has a good, strong career in corporate America, but just really kind of is thinking about spreading their wings into entrepreneurship? That's so totally me. Like, that was my experience. The thing of it was, I was in corporate for almost 30 years, right? And I was totally happy. Like, I loved banking. I loved the industry. I loved my coworkers, my team. I definitely loved my clients. So it was never to a point where I was unhappy, but I did reach a certain point once I got to executive management where there was really there was not a lot of opportunities for me to continue climbing within the organization, and which started making me think, like, if I want to keep growing, I'm going to have to exit out of this organization, which I had been there for over 25 years, and I'm like, if I did that, I don't really know that I want to stay in the same industry and work for another company or work for a competitor. So for me, that started churning some wheels for me, that got me sort of thinking outside the box. But I didn't start thinking outside the box until I was a good 20 plus years in, right? And so I would say for anybody that is starting to think, like, where we talked about, that whole what's next piece, right? And I think that's what we talked about yesterday. But when you get to that place where you're just wondering, like, where do I go from here, kind of thing, this was the piece that, if I had to look back and say, how would I have done any of my career progression and my career pathing differently, I would say I got mentors early on. So mentorship was never a problem for me as far as my corporate life went, and my business life, and certainly afforded me so many opportunities. But here's where if I had it to do all over again, that I would do it differently. All of my mentors and advisors were in the same industry as me. The majority, I would say 98%, were all in the same company as me in various leadership roles throughout the company and throughout the organization. So while that on a corporate level served me very well to grow and progress my career internally within the organization, it didn't do a lot for me as far as giving me guidance outside of the industry or outside of my particular organization. So I didn't really know what else was out there. So I knew how to grow and how to progress and how to develop and career path for that industry, but I didn't really have information outside the industry. And if I had it to do all over again, I would focus less on mentorship within my own organization and my own industry and look for advisors outside. And definitely getting a coach who focuses on your personal development as well as your business development, and that's one of the things. So when I built my coaching company, I made sure I incorporated all that into it, because I don't feel that you can separate your personal life from your business life. Like, your personal foundation supports your professional position, right? So if I'm jacked up over here, I'm going to be messed up at work. Like, my home life ain't right. Something's off, right? So I made sure to keep that, because I knew that that was a component that I had missed along the way. And if I had it to do all over again, that's the biggest thing, is not just having mentors in your industry who are doing what you're doing or within your organization, but somebody who can look big picture, look outside. And we talked yesterday about driving the car and getting the keys and all that, and that clarity piece, getting that clarity piece. And here's the thing, like, this is where I think that I fell short on that, was because while my mentors were amazing women, and I had a couple male mentors and advisors, but it was like going to the Ford salesman and asking him what he thinks about you buying a new Chevy. Like, why would you do that? Why did you do that? But I didn't see it from that perspective because I was in the middle of it. But if I'm going to ask a Ford salesman on a Ford lot at a Ford dealership, what do you think about me buying a brand new Chevy? What do you think he's going to say? No. This is where you need to be. You're in the right place. This is where you need to go. This is where you need to, we got everything you need. So that's what I got from my leadership and my mentorship, because I stuck with advisors in the industry and within the company. And so while they wanted to see me personally grow, they wanted me to see me personally develop, they had a vested interest in me not leaving the organization. And so you have to have an advisor who's outside of the realm of being attached to your success. So you want them to be on your team and for you, but you don't want them to be attached to your successes. In other words, if I decide that I'm going to leave the company and go start my own business, am I holding the organization up? Does that leave a hole for them? Does it leave a gap for them? For me, I was an executive manager. I did strategic planning. I did disaster contingency planning and things like that. And so I managed multiple offices before I came to Arizona and all kinds of stuff. So it would have left a hole. So they're incentivized to, while they want me to grow and be successful and progress and get better, they don't want me to get so good that I want to leave, or they don't want me to have a broad enough picture or spectrum that they wanted me to leave. And so I don't say that as a criticism, because it wasn't anything intentional. I just know that everybody has their own interests. And so when you're looking at your personal board of directors, you're looking at your advisors, you want somebody who's outside the picture, who's on your team and who has your best interest at heart, but it's not vested in what choice you make. Like, your choice still has to be your choice, and it still is going to affect you and impact you. It doesn't affect your advisor. So I think that was, if I could give one piece of advice, that was what I shared with her yesterday, was get somebody that's outside your industry. And definitely a paid advisor, they are working for you. They are vested in your personal development. They're vested in your growth. When you look good, they look good. You're a referral source. You're a testimonial. Nobody gets in this industry for coaching and personal development who doesn't want to see a client be successful. So they're always going to want you to grow and be better and challenge you to do your best and to grow. That's the piece right there. Have somebody that has a broad perspective, various industries, And it's okay to have multiple advisors. If you're going to hire a paid coach, making sure that the coach understands where you come from and is willing to look at the whole picture so that you can tackle all the issues. You need to be not only comfortable talking about business with them, but you need to be comfortable talking about personal stuff with them. I always tell my clients, I'll meet you anywhere you are, but I got to know where you are. I got to know where you are. If you can't be honest and transparent and tell me where you are, I can't meet you. I can't reach out to grab you. I can't catch you if you fall if I don't know where you are. So that's my advice on that. Yeah, so yeah, just getting I saw the best growth and the best development in me once I got a paid advisor. So whether that's a coach, whether it is a consultant that comes in and looks at all your stuff, or whatever the case may be, that's my best advice as far as career pathing, and then working on the clarity piece and making sure that you understand, and to figure that out. You can start working on that yourself even, but figuring out, what do I enjoy, what business line, what industry supports what I enjoy. So for me, I love people. I love talking to people. So coaching was a natural progression to that. I like speaking and I like training. So having a speaking business was a natural progression to that. And so then when I hired a coach, I'm like, these are the things I was able to say. These are the things I like. And then when we drill down, like, how do you like to do it? There's different ways to go about it, and that sort of thing. And so then that brings it all back together and brings you full circle so that you can begin to grow and develop exponentially from where you thought. And sometimes we think that we're going to go a certain direction, but then when you start working with an advisor that helps you with the tools and the strategies to drill down and look at some other things, you start discovering things that maybe you had missed about yourself, things you've forgotten about yourself. For me, it was my love of writing. And so now I teach authors how to write books, and I've written 7, 8 books in the last 4 years. But that was a huge piece of me and what I enjoy that I have forgotten because I let life happen, and the advisors that I had were all in the banking and financial services industries. They're not writing books, they're not authors, they're not speakers. So those things would have never ever occurred to those advisors. And that's why once I got a paid advisor and hired myself a coach for my business, I saw exponential growth. So that's my best advice. If you guys have questions, feel free to inbox me and keep the questions coming. I love reading them. I love being able to respond to them. So let me know, hit me up, and then I will read and share. And as always, your name will be kept confidential, because confidentiality is a key component of what I do. All right, that's it for me tonight, guys. Have a great one. Thanks for living life on Mars with me, and thanks for being part of the Ultimate Power Team. And I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great night.